Hello, this is Daniel Dauphin with Dauphin Horsemanship, and common problem that I see, and I have a customer here that's asked me the question today, is how to properly put polo wraps on a horse. I would like to say that I still use polo wraps pretty regularly. They are a perfectly viable way of protecting the horse's legs and helping them with some support. I'm not going to say that they are as good as the boots, but you know, I mean, they're $20 for four, and then you can get all kind of little designs. I'm sure you'll pay a little bit more for custom ones like this, but at any rate, they are a perfectly viable way of protecting and supporting the horse's leg. The first thing you're going to need to do when you buy a polo wrap, it's going to be exactly like this. You need to undo all of this, okay? And I'm just going to let this fall on the ground. It'll get a little dirty, but it's meant for a horse's leg. So you're going to want to take your velcro ends and you're going to reverse it. So you'll do it over backwards and velcro it to itself, and then you're going to continue rolling it back in that direction. So as you can see, if you do have a nice outer design on your polos, it will not show. You're looking at the inside of the polo wrap, and I'll just kind of quickly knock all of that stuff from the ground off. Okay, so just takes a second. They do make some nice little machines with a hand crank. Excuse me, with a hand crank that'll do these for you real quick, but as you can see, it takes just a second. Once I'm using wraps, like we would maybe put these in the washing machine, when I take them out and they're dry, I roll them up like this, and this is how I have them sitting on the shelf. So I don't, you know, rewrap and unwrap each time. Okay, to put this on the horse's leg, there is most definitely a saying, and this horse's leg is not completely clean, but it would be okay, good enough to demonstrate this, that you can cause a horse to bow a tendon if you do this improperly. I will say that I've seen this done incorrectly a lot. I have no personal experience with a horse that has bowed a tendon as a result of this. That being said, I don't want to find out that it's true, okay? Because the cost of a bow tendon is high. So just do it this way. Don't go the other. I've seen even trainers that have it done wrong. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to pull from front to back on the outside, and then you're going to want to have the tendon wrapping the tendon to the inside. So actually the direction you're going to wrap changes left side to right side of the horse. So for the right side, we're going to start, you're going to wrap the cannon bones. We're going to go just below the knee here, about 2 inches or so. So this is a half Welsh pony mare. She's got real short cannons. So I'm going to just hold that. We're going to wrap front to back, outside to inside, and now it's kind of holding itself. So I'm going to wrap up just a little bit and catch right below the knee, and this is where I'm pulling. Okay, and then we'll come down in sort of a candy cane type manner. Because this horse has very short cannons, we're going to need to have a lot of overlap. If I were on a big old thoroughbred, I might have, you know, a much lower degree of overlap. Okay, so again, front to back, outside to inside. When I get to the fetlock, I want to go down and then come back up. So you should form sort of a V, all right, about in the center of the horse's leg, just like that. And since this mare is short and we have all this extra wrap, I'm going to do that 2 times on her. Okay, and then we'll start working our way back up the leg, and you should come about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way about where we started. And see, going the direction that we did, our Velcro will follow along perfectly as well. And that's a nice snug wrap. It's going to give her plenty of protection, protect that splint bone if she tries to step on herself, give her some good suspensory and fetlock pastern support and all right there. Wrap the left side now. I will say, like I said, this mare is kind of got some pony in her. She actually had 2 cockleburs in the hairs. I don't know if these quite qualify as feathers or not, but at any rate, you certainly would want to be sure that your horse is free of all that. So again, we'll just flip it over backwards. We'll catch our velcro and we'll just unwrap her and go the other direction. As you can see, this just takes a second. I do like a pretty tight wrap. It'll stay together as you are wrapping the horse's leg. So for this side, we're going to do just the opposite. And let me say too, the way that you have this started, right, determines the way you're going to go. So I had to flip that to get this to go correctly. So we'll go about 3/4 of the way up that cannon bone. We'll hold it on the inside. We'll pull from front to back and toward the center. And now we've got a good tight one. We'll come again up a little bit. Now we'll start working our way back down. Now this is the first time I've ever wrapped this horse and used these polos. I really think that one would have been neater if I hadn't overlapped quite so much. So I'm learning. I'm going to give myself a little extra bandage this time. Okay, so I wanted to kind of talk a little more specifically about the V. I'm pretty well to the point now I have to decide whether I want to wrap one more time and go down or not. But when I'm going to do the V, this is the first part, so I need to be sure I kind of cross right there. And we want that coming up under that fetlock, giving good support to that fetlock. And there's my nice crisscross in the center. And again, with this mare having the short cannon bones, we could afford to do it twice. I wouldn't say that that's necessary, but it really doesn't hurt. And just to have it a little neater there. Okay. And then we'll go up. And finish that. Finish it off nice and neat. So that's a pretty good example of what it should look like when you're done.